Assalamu alaikum. मेरा नाम आरिफ मंसूरी है and I'm the host of the Mansuri Show. The show that is best described as मिलाऊंगा, बताऊंगा, दिखाऊंगा. Your link to everything Pakistani straight from California, the Mansuri Show. नाज़रीन, आज के प्रोग्राम में हम आपको ले चलेंगे ग्लेंडेल, कैलिफोर्निया, जहां पर के एल्क लॉज में एक तकरीब मुनक़िद हुई और इस तकरीब में तकरीर के लिए मदऊ किया गया शहबाज तासीर को, जो कि सलमान तासीर साबिक़ गवर्नर पंजाब के साहबजादे हैं। जैसा कि आपको याद होगा कि 2011 में सलमान तासीर साबिक़ गवर्नर पंजाब को उनके गार्ड मुमताज़ कादरी ने कत्ल किया था और उसके तकरीबन 6 माह के बाद शहबाज तासीर को लाहौर से अगवा कर लिया गया और तकरीबन 4.5 साल शहबाज तासीर वहाँ पर एक ग्रुप इस्लामिक मूवमेंट ऑफ उज़्बेकिस्तान के कब्ज़े में रहे और हाल ही में रिहाई पाके वो मार्च 2016 में वतन वापस लौटे। और ये तकरीब जो कि किवानीस क्लब इंटरनेशनल ने मुनक़िद की थी, उसमें उनको तकरीर की दावत दी गई और उसके साथ हमारे पाकिस्तान के कौंसल जनरल ऑफ पाकिस्तान लॉस एंजल्स जनाब अब्दुल जब्बार मेमन साहब को भी मदऊ किया गया। तो आइए इनकी तकारीर की झलकियाँ मुलाहिज़ा फरमाइए।
He persevered and he emerged a resilient man whose story proves that perhaps there is nothing more significant than searching for the silver lining in even the darkest storm cloud. Now here today, for one of the first times outside of his home country since his abduction, Shahbaz is ready to tell his story. And this is a story we should listen very closely to. It's a story of heroism and the ultimate pursuit of happiness. It is a story of optimism and the power of a human mind.
All right, very good.
I want to hear his story just as much as you do. So I'm going to skip this. And please welcome Shahbaz to tell us his story.
An incredible honor to be here amongst all of you, especially because the work that this organization does, it's very close to my heart, which is focused on education. And so I say to you today that America is a great country. For me, it's a privilege to be here a free man, because that's what the world needs today. Free men to stand against the other side, because that's really what it is. It's not about being American or Pakistani, about being Christian or Muslim. It's about free men who stand against a common enemy. Divisions in our lines allows them to get ahead. That's why I don't look at myself as a Pakistani, I look at myself as a human being. I don't look at myself as a Muslim, I look at myself as someone who is the son of this earth. And that's what gets me going every single day, knowing that I am equal to everyone. It humbles me as a person to know that regardless of someone else's national identity, their culture, their race, their religion, me and them are equal. They deserve the same opportunity that I deserve, whether it's the right to speak their mind or believe what they will. My father was killed for having this belief. He was murdered because he stood up against laws in Pakistan that oppress the weak. He told me a few days before he died, he said, men and nations are defined not by how they lean on the strong, but how they stand by the weak. That is an ideal that he gave his life for. There was an innocent Christian woman called Asya Bibi in Pakistan, and she was accused, not convicted, but accused of blasphemy in Pakistan. And it's very important to remember this, that being accused does not allow you to be the subject of conviction. You have not been convicted. It has not been proven that you are guilty. And thus, no one has the right to persecute you. He stood against these draconian laws that have nothing to do with religion, that were the offspring of a dictator. And he was killed for it. And I was kidnapped just 6 months after he died for being his son, for absolutely nothing else, just being his son, being proud of the man that he chose to be. He had all the luxuries in the world. He was a successful politician. He was an amazing businessman, but he stood in the face of tyranny and said, I will not accept this as the way that my country and people should live. And he died for that. So when I say that it's not unfortunate what happened to me, it's because I was kidnapped for being his son. Everything that happened to me, whether it was torture, whether it was anything, it was because I was his son. Being his son, I am very proud to be his son. I am very proud to have known a man that gave his life so that somebody else could be free. And so, you know, what seemed like just an average day for a 27-year-old who had more responsibility than he should have, at least in my mind, because I had to look after a younger brother, a younger sister, and a widowed mother. I had inherited a business that I was lucky to have been part of, but without my father, no understanding of how to run. And with all these difficulties, just 6 months after his death, I was kidnapped by one of the most brutal militant groups that you can find. And the funny thing about this group is that they were an Uzbek militant group called the Uzbekistan Islamic Movement. And here I am, unprepared, and you can't be prepared. Nothing can prepare you to be abducted. Nothing can prepare a free man to be a prisoner. No free man deserves to be a prisoner. We were all born free. This is something about the United States that I love. It says it in your constitution that all men are equal. Every man has a right to liberty and freedom. And so I believe that no man had the right to take that away from me just because I chose to be the person that I am, just because my father chose to be the person that he was, which is not a coward, which is not someone who shoots somebody in the back. It's someone who stands tall in the face of aggression and oppression. And so here I was, a 27-year-old, newly married, with absolutely no understanding of what I should do in this situation. For me, in the beginning, the hardest part was learning how to sleep on the floor with mice and insects and no air conditioning, no fan, in a Pakistani summer. I thought this was awful. The second day, I realized I was going to be starved. They were only going to feed me once a day in minimum quantities because these people didn't think that I was a human being. These people looking at me praying would laugh at me. So how can I think of them as Muslims? They couldn't break me. They tried very hard. I remember once I was badly tortured and one of my guards told my kidnapper, he said, if you continue to do this, if he doesn't die physically, his heart will break and he'll die. And he turned around to him, he said, I've been trying to break his heart or mine for 3 years. This guy is made of something else. But the only thing that I could counter this aggression with was the memory and the love of my family, the memory of my father's sacrifice. Every time I was beaten and thrown to the ground, I would ask myself, are you not proud of the man that he was? Are you ashamed of his memory? Are you ashamed of his sacrifice? No, absolutely not. 4.5 years later, I remember after I flew into my city, and literally it was like a movie scene because the door opened and I could see my family. And it was a 5-minute walk, but I just remember thinking to myself that, wow, it was totally worth it. Because I can't change what happened to me, but it's unbelievable that I'm standing here and I get to see these people again. The struggle was real, but it was worth it. The happiness, people ask me, how do you smile? How come it hasn't affected you? And I keep telling them, I'm like, if you put yourself in my position, where I was, if you see my past, and you see my present, here I am in sunny Glendale in California, you have to find it hilarious. It's absolutely funny. To come from living with people that call themselves human beings and defenders of some faith, defenders of some ideology, that's only important to them. They're selfish. They're selfish in their ideology. To live amongst them, to be looked down by them. And then to come here, you have to find it hilarious. It's a miracle. For me, every day is a miracle. That's how I look at life. And I just I don't want to take up too much time. I'm not very, this is the first time I've spoken, but I prefer if you guys want to take the floor and ask me questions, but just before that, I'd just like to finish by saying that there's a lot of intolerance in the world today. Intolerance is our enemy. When we look at each other and say, this is your passport, this is your religion, this is your culture, that is intolerance. It is our enemy. It is the fuel that breeds the hatred inside of these people. We have one weapon against them, and that is education. The only way to fight intolerance is through an enlightened mind, and the only chance that we have to do that is through education. Remember, intolerance is the only thing that will split us. We were all born, regardless of your religion, we were all born on the same earth. We are all one. That's the only way to look at it. Muslims like me, who have fought to see the day of just the sun, it's by fighting this enemy, this intolerant enemy, by not putting a nationality on it, by not putting a religion or race or culture on it, just branding it our enemy and fighting it. And that's it. Thank you.
नाज़रीन, आप देख रहे हैं सूबा पंजाब के साबिक़ गवर्नर सलमान तासीर के साहबजादे शहबाज तासीर की तकरीर, जो कि उन्होंने हाल ही में कीवानीस क्लब इंटरनेशनल के लंचन पे की। प्रोग्राम में अब वक्त हुआ है एक छोटे से वक्फे का। देखते रहिए। वी विल बी राइट बैक। वेलकम बैक टू द मंसूरी शो। नाज़रीन, जब जिक्र होता है 2 टाइम्स एकेडमी विनर, 6 एमी विनर शर्मीन उबैद चुनाई का, या द यंगेस्ट नोबेल पीस प्राइज विनर मलाला यूसुफजई का, या द स्टोरी ऑफ मुख्तारा माए, या फिर द ओरडील ऑफ शहबाज तासीर, तो वेस्टर्न मीडिया में एक अंसर है जो कि इन मामलात को लेकर ये ज़ाहिर करने की कोशिश करता है कि पाकिस्तान सारा का सारा ऐसा ही है कि जो जुल्म, बर्बरियत, अगवा, ख़वातीन का इस्तेहसाल, दैट इज़ व्हाट पाकिस्तान इज़ ऑल अबाउट। आज की इस तकरीब में किवानीस क्लब इंटरनेशनल ने कौंसल जनरल ऑफ पाकिस्तान लॉस एंजल्स जनाब अब्दुल जब्बार मेमन साहब को भी दावत दी थी, और उन्होंने एक बड़ी पुरजोश और मुदल्लल तकरीर करी और एड्रेस्ड दिस इशू एंड पुट द राइट पर्सपेक्टिव। तो आइए वो तकरीर मुलाहिज़ा फरमाइए।
Respected office bearers of Kiwanis International, Mr. Shahbaz Taseer, Mrs. Taseer, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the Kiwani Internationals for organizing such a wonderful event today and providing an opportunity to Mr. Shahbaz Taseer, who has just shared the details of his ordeal which he faced during his captivity more than 4.5 years in Afghanistan, which is our neighboring country. Our audience is sitting here, and as a matter of fact, any individual in any part of the world can conveniently believe that a country which is known as Pakistan, where serving governor is not safe, where son of governor, a member of the promising, dynamic and enterprising family, is being kidnapped in a broad daylight and then driven to mountains of Afghanistan, where he is kept in captivity for 4.5 years, provides substantial material to believe that Pakistan is probably a place where instability rules, where there is no rule of law. Before jumping to conclusions, I would request to audience here and the world as a whole that Pakistan was not like that as it has been recently seen. Most of the challenges Pakistan is facing today have their genesis in the protracted conflict in Afghanistan. I'm sure you must have read opinion columns, commentaries, summaries and articles painting Pakistan as the most dangerous country. Others are portraying, blaming Pakistan as the part of the problem in the region rather than the solution of the problem in the region. So, before giving any concluding comment on Pakistan, it's a must to understand Pakistan itself, its people, its government, its social mindset, its social attitudes, and above all, its unrivaled geostrategic location which we have been landed in. Like any other country, Pakistan neither could choose its geography nor its neighbors. Pakistan is being flanked by the East, India, a country which has never accepted our existence since 1947. We have fought a number of wars. Pakistan was dismembered, and now Kashmir dispute, unfortunately, has become dangerous flashpoint between the two nuclear powers. And God forbid if sanity doesn't prevail and it's not amicably been resolved, maybe the world may see a catastrophe in South Asia. Pakistan's peculiar geostrategic location, that it lies at the confluence of South Asia, West Asia, Central Asia, the Middle East, the Persian Gulf. This where has provided us opportunities, there has created a lot of challenges for us. Those who believe that we are part of the problem, Pakistan is playing havoc with the peace in the world. I would like to most humbly mention to them that Pakistan has sacrificed 37,500 lives in the war against terrorism. Among them, 11,000 are our valiant soldiers who lost their lives. Pakistan, the country who has looked after 3.5 million internally displaced people in Pakistan. Pakistan is the country who has been looking after 3.5 million Afghan refugees since last 4 decades. $107 billion of economic losses have been inflicted upon my country's economy, which was already fragile one. So these are those sacrifices which we have given. You have not forgotten that our army public school in Peshawar was attacked and 136 children, students from grade 1 to 12 were brutally murdered. That was the turning point in the history of Pakistan, as it was 9/11 for the United States of America. We did not lose our strength. We did not lose our patience, but we were determined. Our nation was determined. Our military was determined. Our people was determined. Our political leadership was determined that we will fight this mindset, this minority who's trying to make hostage to the global majority. And we have placed 190,000 soldiers on northern borders. They are fighting this menace, this monster. Sir, for what? If anybody has this misconception that these 190,000 soldiers are fighting for peace, to ensure peace in Pakistan, sir, I would like to clarify that these soldiers are not fighting only for Pakistan's peace and security, but they are fighting for the global peace and security. Anything happens in any part of the world, in any corner of the world, when it's investigated, the traces are found either in ISIS or in Afghanistan. And we are fighting with them to eliminate this menace so that world could really attain a peaceful living and people all over the world could sleep in peace. Against all these odds, against all these predicaments, Pakistan has not lost hope. First time in the history of Pakistan, we have seen the peaceful democratic transition of the governments. That outgoing government handed over the government to the new incoming government. This is Pakistan's independent judiciary which can sack Prime Minister of Pakistan. I do agree with Shahbaz Taseer that justice was laid in his father's case, but it was not denied. The culprit was hung. And I'm as jubilant as Taseer's family. I want to see this menace be eliminated from the soil of Pakistan so that we can re-emerge as a peaceful nation in the world. We have independent, free press media even today. Rather, it's as free as press is free in the United States of America. We have vibrant civil society in a country like Pakistan, where the concepts all over the world that it's the most unstable country in the world. But their point of view is being incorporated in all policy making process of Pakistan today. So let me add one more thing. Pakistan producing, even under these circumstances, Oscar winners Sharmeen Obaid Junai has recently got his second Oscar award 3 months before here in Los Angeles, and she was no one else but Pakistani. So this speaks of our resilience, our inherent strength, our commitment, and word will see we will overcome our problems. So I will not take much time and conclude my speech here, but before leaving podium, I would say, Taseer, your sacrifices will not go in vain. I assure you, we will emerge with new Pakistan and eliminate this minority mindset from Pakistan and its region and all over the world with the global support.
To hear the words from today, they're impactful and powerful, and a wonderful reminder that we need to unify as human beings, and a wonderful example of heart and perseverance and what we are capable of. And I believe it's so important for us to all unify together and not create different cliques and based off of religion, culture, ethnicity. And we just need to remember that as one, we're powerful, and we need to get rid of the evil altogether. It's everyone's responsibility to stand up and be a voice for good and what's right. And I feel very, very blessed to have heard those words today, and I'm very impacted by them. So thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
Absolutely. It was an amazing program, and it was an honor to hear from him and to meet him, to hear his story. Such a courageous man, and I think it was really, really an inspiring afternoon for all of us.
I'm Jose Sierra. I'm the president of the Glendale Kiwanis Club. This was, without a doubt, one of the best programs we've had since I've been a member of the club in 14 years. The message was powerful. The message was positive. And I hope and I know that it really went in deep into all of our members' hearts and minds.
Yes, I was so impressed with this discussion today. I think it's very healing for not only Pakistan, but for the country, for the world, that we are one as brothers and sisters. And it's very difficult to talk to people who don't know any Muslims, and they will say something like, there's only one good, at least there's one good Muslim in the world. And I think it is all born of ignorance.
Kiwanis International ने आज एक लिहाज से अच्छा काम किया है कि उन्होंने शहबाज तासीर साहब को मौका फराहम किया कि वो अपना वो RDL के बारे में जो वो अफ़गानिस्तान में कैप्टिविटी में रहे थे, उन्होंने बड़ा इन अ वेरी कैंडिड एंड बड़े फ्रैंक मैनर में बताया। और आपने देखा होगा कि मेरी तकरीर के दौरान मैंने पूरी कोशिश की आज के इस ऑडियंस को ये फ़ील कराने में कि ये सिर्फ लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन का प्रॉब्लम जो पाकिस्तान में है वो पाकिस्तान का अपना प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लेकिन ये अफ़गानिस्तान के उस प्रोट्रैक्टेड कॉन्फ्लिक्ट की वजह से है, जिसकी वजह से हम जहाँ 2600 किलोमीटर का बॉर्डर उनके साथ शेयर कर रहे हैं, तो ये थोड़ी सा उसका इम्पेक्ट है जो फॉल आउट है जिसको हमने सफ़र करना पड़ा है। और अनफॉर्चुनेटली शहबाज तासीर साहब भी उसी के विक्टिम बने। लेकिन अब हमारी फोर्सेस, हमारी पॉलिटिकल गवर्नमेंट, हमारे पाकिस्तानी आम आदमी, हमारी डिटर्मिनेशन है, हम फाइट कर रहे हैं और इंशाल्लाह ताला इस महीने इस टेररिज्म को हम ख़त्म करके ही रहेंगे और पाकिस्तान एक दफ़ा फिर इंशाल्लाह ताला बहुत ही पीसफुल और बहुत ही डायनामिक कंट्री होके उभरेगा इंशाल्लाह।
I enjoyed today's meeting very much. It was very informative, and the truths that we were
talking about today are universal. The interesting part is that it seems to all date back to education.
I think we hear about bravery so often in the media, but it's one thing to actually sit in an audience and hear perhaps one of the bravest men talk about his experience and how he overcame all of those obstacles. So my takeaway from today is just I'm incredibly lucky, and I'm also kind of realizing that difficult is definitely a relative term and that we must always count our blessings. In terms of culture, it's just I feel very proud as a Pakistani to be joined here by Shahbaz Taseer because he overcame adversity that I could only ever dream of, and his bravery is something that I think will be remembered for generations to come.
मैं तो यही कहूँगा कि it's very commendable for what he has endured, what he's gone through, and what his wife has gone through for 4.5 years, and the whole family. Hats off. That's all I can say. Hats off.
We have a very multicultural sort of community. So I've always viewed people as people. When people say things that are hurtful or ignorant or scathing towards other religions or groups, I feel it too because you're insulting my friends. So to be honest with you, I thought it was great to hear this message because I think it's something that needs to be shared more universally. And I think Pakistan's a wonderful place from what I understand. I can only speak wonderful things because all of the people that I know from there are great, and I hope that this helped other people feel that way as well.
तो नाजरीन, आपने खीवानीस क्लब इंटरनेशनल के लंचन पर जनाब शहबाज तासीर और उसके बाद कौंसल जनरल ऑफ पाकिस्तान जनाब अब्दुल जब्बार मेमन की तकारीर मुलाहिज़ा फरमाई, और उसके बाद हमने आपको हाज़रीना जलसा के कमेंट्स भी सुनवाए। हमारे प्रोग्राम का वक्त अब ख़त्म हुआ चाहता है। हमें अपनी आरा से आगाह करते रहिए। आपके स्क्रीन पे जो एड्रेस है उस पर हमें अपना फ़ीडबैक भेजते रहिए, और हमारे प्रोग्राम की पिछली एपिसोड्स देखने के लिए प्लीज़ विज़िट pakistanlink.com/ARY। अपना ख्याल रखिएगा। खुदा हाफिज़।